I'll Be Home for Christmas is a bittersweet favorite of mine, especially as I lost my mom 10 years ago this Christmas Eve. But I am able to remember her love. Always will. Darlene Paulden. I am so happy to see you today. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi. I hope you had a good, safe week. And you know, a couple weeks ago, I promised that I was going to show you my Christmas decorations. So that's what I want to do today. And I had so much fun putting this together. And you know, I don't have a big fancy house and I'm on a budget, but I think it turned out really nice. You know, a lot of the things are things I got from my family or things I thrifted at the thrift store or just things I picked up at Walmart. So where I can down below, I will list some of the things that you see if you see something you like. But you know, this year everybody has a theme. So my theme was an antique store. Christmas in an antique store. And I thought that would be the neatest theme because, you know, it's just going to be me and Desi this year and us. And I thought, well, that kind of just makes it feel like I'm the little apartment around the corner doing Christmas in the shop. And I don't know, maybe it's just a silly little theme, but I really enjoyed it. I had so much fun imagining what it would be like if I had a little antique store and people were coming in at Christmas time. So I really loved doing this, and I hope you enjoy it. The other thing that I wanted to do today is, well, first I wanted to thank you for your beautiful comments last week about your mom's and watching her paste the green stamps in the books and seeing your mother in a different way through your adult eyes. And at least 50, 60 comments brought me to tears. They taught me so much. So I picked out 5 or 6 comments and I put them in this video so we all could appreciate the sentiments. Because this year, it's not about one person or one thing. It's about all of us sharing our heart and our life together. And as we grow older, the more we can kind of hang on to each other and inspire each other and learn from each other, the better off we are. So I thought, what better voice in this video than yours? So I really hope you enjoy this. wanted to share with you a couple Christmas books that I ordered from Amazon that I fell in love with. And this one is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and this is a beautiful Christmas book that hopefully will become a tradition in my family. But I'm not going to be able to be in person with my grandchildren this year. So I signed up for Zoom, I got a webcam, and I'm going to pick out some of the stories in this book to read to them. But this isn't just like a coffee table book. This book it's just so beautiful. It has stories and poems, art, recipes, sheet music. I mean, it is so beautiful. I'm going to try to show you a close-up of it. It's so Christmassy and happy and beautifully done. The other book I have is called A Vintage Christmas, and there's many volumes of these, and these are wonderful poems and stories by Mark Twain, Dickens, Louisa May Alcott, all the great writers. Down from the sky the magic steals, too glad the passing year, and belfries sing with the joyous peals, for Christmas time is here. Because of the circumstances, I really didn't get a chance to get out to my favorite, Christmas stores and shop for decorations. But, I did get to Walmart and some antique stores that are close to me. And I found, some of these really neat decorations for the tree and for centerpieces. And they're very rustic, and they're in the kind of theme of transportation of a long time ago, almost like the 1950s. And I fell in love with that. So I thought, well, isn't that really cool? Because, I'm going for the antique store vibe anyway. And this is like a rusted old rim on a tire with a bow on it. And I loved it. I so remember the green stamps. I'll tell you a story. My mom was collecting them, and I really didn't think they were that important to her. And one day at the age of 15, while she wasn't home, I took them to the Redemption Center and traded them in for something for myself. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I did something so inconsiderate and selfish. When she arrived home, I showed her what I got. She asked me how I was able to afford it, and I said, "Oh, I took your green stamps." I'll never forget the look on her face. She didn't yell or scream. She just said, "Well, I hope you're happy because you've disappointed me." She told me she had been saving for something very special. She never told me what it was, but as a young teen, although I felt awful, I never gave it another thought until you started to talk about the green stamps. My mom passed away 3 years ago. Oh, how I wish I could call her tonight and tell her I'm sorry. It's my great honor that I get to hear from you every week. And that comment that Christine left about her mom and her mom saving up for the green stamps and she taking those green stamps and getting something for herself. It just made me tear up. I think I cried for 10 minutes. And I thought to myself, how is it that experiences like that, when we think back on our mother's life, how is it that knowing about them and learning about them and missing them, how does that make us grow? And I think that comment was the perfect example of it. How many times did I hurt my mother's feelings and just brush it off? Probably too many times to count. But I'm assuming that my mom knew, even though maybe I hurt her feelings. I would like to think that my mother knew that she raised a girl that someday would feel bad. That she raised me to be compassionate with empathy. That she knew someday I would know how much I loved her. In fact, she said that to me. And I'm thinking too, in Christine's circumstance, she didn't get a chance to pick up the phone and say she was sorry to her mama. But her mom knew. Don't you think? I think so. Her mother knew that she loved her. After I read that comment the next day, I called my son. And I thought back on something that happened years and years and years ago at my wedding reception. I felt I had slighted him a little bit. Just a little thing. And I called him up to tell him I love him and I'm sorry. He didn't happen to remember the incident, but it made me feel so good because it gave me one more excuse to tell my boy I love him. Was a pretty lady. When I was 5, I remember her with a beehive hairdo and yellow and paisley hot pant outfits. She glammed it up with eyeliner and lipstick, the works. She looked like a model out of a fashion magazine. A few years later, after divorce and 3 kids in tow and going it solo, it was just eyebrow pencil and a little lipstick. Then through the decades, she withdrew into herself. She lost herself. And she lost the eyebrow pencil and lipstick too. Thank you so much, Lightbearer, for you describing your mother in such a beautiful way. I could just see her, with her beehive hairdo and her beautiful makeup and her boots. And I bet she was absolutely beautiful. And it just brought back so many memories of women I have known that have been beaten down by life. And I got a comment last week, only one. And she said, I don't understand why you even bring up women who feel disconnected or feel that, they're not part of or not good enough. Let's just keep upbeat. And I tell you, honestly, my jaw hit the ground. It was like, all I could think of is, there but for the grace of God go I. You think you've got it all together, right? Everything is great. You can see how your life is completely going to turn out. Everything is just hunky-dory, and then boom, life happens. And when life happens, it helps us so much to be able to talk about it, to share. We go through life every day gathering a few tools from our wise friends on how to deal with some of the issues that we face. Not every day is a good day, but every day is an important day. And if we can't be honest, if we can't admit that something is wrong, how are we ever going to conquer the issue that we face? You know, I just absolutely can't sit here week after week and just have everything sweet and lovely and hunky-dory. It's just, life isn't that way. I mean, we don't have to be maudlin about it, but there are just some things, you know, that clothes and lipstick and shoes, they can't help. I mean, it's a good start. The hardest thing that we do in life is change. But I think an even harder thing for us to deal with is admitting something might be wrong. So for all of us that maybe have a new health issue, or a new living circumstance, or maybe just this year has weighed upon us and made us feel fragile, it's okay. Reach out. Reach out to a friend, a neighbor, a family member. But don't be afraid. Please don't be afraid to say that something's wrong or that you're hurting. There are people that love you, and they want to help. Don't rob them of that wonderful gift that you could give them of helping you when you need it the most. We women are strong. We're smart and we're strong. And if it's one thing that we do best, it's we survive during the harshest of circumstances. We've been doing it since the beginning of time and not getting hardly any credit for it at all. We're survivors. We make things right. That's what women do. The girl of 15 is not the woman I am today. I will be 70 in July, and I believe as we age, we grow wiser, more thoughtful, more kind, more loving. So I guess we have to take the good with the bad. Our looks fade, but we become even more beautiful in a different way. Reminded of the green stamps really took me back to growing up, and memories of my own dear mom came flooding back. Mine was a single parent too, and the struggles she faced no doubt made her feel worthless at times. But she always had an abundance of love to share with me and my siblings. My mom bought work clothes for my dad, then school clothes for us kids, and she came last. One winter she saw this coat that she really loved, but felt it was just too much money. I talked her into buying it and somewhat shamed my dad into supporting this. I just loved looking at her in that coat. She was so beautiful. Hey everybody, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I loved every second of it, and I so hope you like the little Christmas tour. And if you have time down below, could you share just a couple of things that you do to keep yourself up and in a good mood? I think it would mean so much to a lot of us. So please have yourself a brand new, safe holiday week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right. It's a deal. We'll be here. So why is it, thinking of our mothers and missing them, How does that help us grow? We look back and we see them. We see our mothers with adult eyes. And then we start to see the whole world with adult eyes. And we change. And we grow.